Training your staff to answer the phone professionally can be a challenge, especially for the solo practitioner who is not only practicing but running the business as well. And spending time with the staff and making sure that they are answering the phone properly can be a big challenge. You can actually give today's video to your staff so that they can pick up some really simple tips so that they can answer the phone more professionally for your medical practice. Hey, it's Tom Jackobs. Thanks for stopping by. This channel is all about growing your practice through the power of sales, and we do that through presentation, performance, for more profits in your business, especially for the solo practitioner and the solopreneur. So let's dive into how to answer the phone professionally for your medical practice. And I hear this a lot of times from my clients that they just don't have the time to train their staff. However, the phone is one of the most important pieces of the business because a lot of times that's the caller's first experience is when they're calling into the business or when the business is calling out to them as well. And that's why I spend a lot of time with my call center employees in making sure that they really understand that it might be the 100th time that they've been on the phone, but it's that caller's very first time. And it's important to sound professional, sound alert, and make it the very best conversation as possible. So I'm going to give you three tips so that your staff can be a lot more active on the phones and come across as professional as possible. The first tip is to keep it alive each and every time. Now, it might be the 20th time you've answered the phone that day, but it's that caller's very first time calling into your business. So the very first thing is just have that first frame of reference and the frame of mind that you are going to make a friend on the phone. Talk on the phone like you were talking to a really good friend who's calling and you haven't heard from in a while. It's like, hi, thank you for calling Tom's Wellness Practice. You know, something like that that's nice and warm, inviting, and it's just full of enthusiasm. So always the first time, make sure that you're in that frame of mind to answer the phone. If you're busy, like doing stuff and then you pick up the phone, yeah, how can I help you? It's going to come through on the phone. Phone rings, put the stuff down, first time caller. Hi, thank you for calling Tom's Wellness Practice. How can I help you? And then it is so much better and alive for that caller. Tip number 2, and this is something that a lot of people don't like to do, but I love to do it because it creates such a different approach to your business. And that is what we call a pattern interrupt. So think about like the times that you call a business, you have this image and in your head and kind of a script that you already have created of what you're going to be saying to that business and what that business is going to reply back to you, and just you kind of have it all scripted out because it's pretty much the same every time you call somebody. They go, hi, can I help you? Yes, I'm looking for this, and it's just this kind of this back and forth that always happens. However, when you do a pattern interrupt, now that whole script goes out the window of the caller. They're like, oh, what's going on? Something different. And now you have full control of that conversation. And so this is a really good pattern interrupt that some businesses use, and certainly the ones that work with me do it all the time because it is so effective. When you're answering the phone, say something a little bit different like, hi, thanks for calling Tom's Wellness Practice. How can I delight you today? And you put emphasis on the word delight. How can I make you smile today? Put emphasis on the word smile. And all of a sudden they're like, wait a second, they didn't say how can I help you today, they said delight, and what am I going to do? And it throws them off, and they're like, you could, and then you can take full control of the conversation from that point on. So second tip is to do that pattern interrupt to get them off their game so you have full control of that call. And tip number 3 is to stay in full control of the conversation. Whether it's an inbound call or an outbound call, you still need to have the same destination that you want to go to for every call. Whether it's to get the question answered for the person that's calling or get them registered for an appointment. Whatever it happens to be, you need to understand what the destination of that call is and always be driving towards that destination. A lot of times when we're getting on these calls, it can go in many different ways if you do not have control of the call. And one thing that just bothers me all the time when I'm doing coaching for our clients, and I do listen to a lot of recordings of phone calls, and I'm like, oh my gosh, some of them are truly cringeworthy until we start role playing and really fixing some habits that, quite frankly, have never been fixed before. And one of those is just waiting for somebody to talk to you. If you're the one that's in the business, you should be having control of that conversation. If you're just kind of waiting for, yeah, how can I help you? Yeah. And you're just doing these short answers, you're not driving the conversation to where you ultimately want to take it, which is a resolution to either the caller's problem, getting them scheduled, whatever that issue happens to be. You need to have full control. And that's how you're going to be very professional on the phone. And then at the very end of the phone call, you just end it up with a nice little button. Before we go, is there anything else that you needed? Something like that. That's just a nice little button up rather than just, okay, well, I think that's it. Bye. It's like, oh my gosh. It sounds so bad sometimes when you kind of hear that, but so many people are like, okay, I'm done talking to you. Click. Instead of, oh, is there anything else I can help you with today? And maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Most likely there isn't because you've already taken care of their problem. And now you can let them go and go on with the rest of your work. I've put together another video that I'd love for you to check out, which is how to make sure that appointments actually show up. Once you've made that appointment, you've been very professional on the phone, and now you want that appointment to stick. So check out that video right there. And until next time, you have a great day.